Kia ora. I'm wanting to present my blog in a variety of ways. Rather than just writing it down, I'm going to record it and I want to read it to you on the video as well, and just see how is a good way to present my thoughts to the world. So, kia ora. Ko Karena tōku ingoa. My name's Karena, or Karen sometimes, and I'm a musician and a member of the Zenergy Global Facilitation group. And I've written something called Being with a Group I'd like to share with you. I'm a musician, which means I have many jobs. One of my favorite, is playing market music on the mandolin. I play specifically at New Zealand's farmers markets. I play farmers markets music, Celtic melodies with a few polkas and familiar contemporary melodies on a warm bed of traditional backing tracks, alternating with throbbing reggae dub bass lines as the day progresses. So this article is about the Zenergy concept of the 3 states of a facilitator's being. And this is being with self, being with another, and being with a group. The tunes I play are ubiquitous, yet reinvented, reharmonized and rearranged, so most people recognize them and feel a sense of familiarity with them, yet often can't quite place them or me or the instrument that I'm playing. I'm a fairly ordinary, curly-haired, Celtic-looking Pākehā, white New Zealander in a colourful handmade clothing usually. My instrument has an unusual shape for a mandolin. It looks a bit like an Ovation Elite guitar, if that means anything to you. Mandolins have double strings, so many people ask me if it's Greek or Russian or Eastern European, and where exactly am I from? Somehow I am both other and family at the same time around these places, in this part of the world anyway. So farmers markets are a thronging spring of life, multicultural, diverse in taste and offerings. Ethnicity, age, sex and style of any given market is governed by location and tourism. When I'm in my role, performing as a market musician, it is possible for me to sense the energy of the whole group. And rather than being the main focus, I'm offering a service. You know, one of my key taglines is music as service, music as joy, music as expression. So music as service is part of what I consider to be my offering. The stars of the farmers market are the products of the stallholders and the workers and the makers who create the items for sale. So usually unique, tasty, original and healthy food items or magnificent craft work that cannot be found anywhere else. The market manager, the crew, the rubbish picker-uppers and me, we are serving the stallholders. Our work is appreciated, but we're not the main act. As a musician playing, especially amplified, this distinction can take a little bit of getting used to. How to do that without being the centre of attention. Through our Zenergy training, we learn to be responsive and observant of group energy. Part of our training is to distinguish between being with ourselves, that is self-facilitation, being with another, so facilitation with one other person, and being with the group, facilitating a whole group. So when I start to play, so we also learn to generate the idea of the concept of generating what is missing. So we look for what is missing in the group, and then we have the skills as Zenergy to generate the things that we notice are missing. When I start to play at the beginning of the day, so in the morning I wrote this article, I was set up and ready to play by 9 AM, which means I leave the house before 7. My entire focus is on self-facilitation, on being with self. I listen to the PA. How does it sound? How does the sound feel on my skin? Is it sharp and hard or soft and gentle? If it is demanding attention, then for a market it's too loud or it has too much treble. If I don't adjust and turn down, I will either be asked to or I won't be asked back. So I have to get this right. I concentrate on the sound with my entire body, the sound of the space, the feeling of the sound of the space. I purposefully don't look at anyone during this particular phase. I may not even face the front of the stage. I may face the speakers or to the side. So in musicians' terminology, this is sound check. I organize myself emotionally to be of service. It's another kind of sound check, like an inner sound check. I believe it is my role as a market musician to smile at every face that appears in front of mine. This is just how I do it. You know, so there's more than one way to busk, but at the market, for me, this is the service I provide. I will smile at you. I will smile back. Yeah, and I'm playing an instrument at the same time. Once I turn to face whoever is there and I begin to play, I will be ready to open my heart to whoever I see. That's not my default, which is perhaps why I'm choosing to write about it. According to my Zenergy training, this is called being with another. We learn that we have a unique relationship with each and every group member, and I practice this as I smile while playing the mandolin at the market. Children, elderly, wizened, coupled, solo, interested, annoyed, curious, mildly offended, reserved, camera focused, polite, impolite, generous, greedy, Maori, Pacifica, Pākehā, Asian, all dressed up and dressed down, each one is somebody, and for each one a smile. For me, this is a deep yoga practice. Especially for me as an introvert, it is a very deep yoga practice. So if I start to waver in my playing, if I close my eyes to refocus, the smile stays. The smile by this point is smiling itself through me. It's a deep trance. In a deep trance, I clearly see the group energy of the marketplace. I sense the ebb and flow, the bustle, the excitement, expectancy in the early part of the day, and watch as it gives way to weariness and fatigue in the latter. I adjust my tunes accordingly, traditional in the beginning, fresh, simple melodies and clear moving backing tracks. As the session progresses, sort of in set 3, around 11 or so, I shift to reggae dub bass lines to generate more relaxation in the group by offering more repetition. When I make this transition, I check in. I make eye contact, particularly with the elderly people, to make sure they're ready to leave the bonny banks of yesteryear. If things become stagnant, I can generate more energy with a polka or a jig. In moments of brutal business, I might let go fully into the energy with a set of urgent reels and allow the intensity to dominate and full-on selling time, and the stall holders are doing really, really well. I might just go for it, just really for, 10 minutes or so, really let it throb. As a musician, I have many oral tools to generate atmospheres. And I have these same skills as a facilitator, as a friend, a community member, and in my family. Opening myself to the oral realm allows, check it out, allows undeniable sensory depth. Sounds like a tui, right? So happy in the garden. So these questions are reflections for you to open your senses to the oral dimension. And we've got a tui checking in. What an honor. What an honor to have this rangatira. Well, I think it's a tui. It was making some tui sounds. I don't know what those ones are, but it's beautiful. So what sounds can you hear right now? Can you hear the thoughts of others? Can you hear the thoughts of others? Can you hear the thoughts of the natural world around you? Can you hear the reflections of sound on the walls and hard surfaces around you? The reflections. Can you picture the sounds of your life as a stream of sensation on the hard surface of your skull? Where else is sound living in you? Can you feel the sound on your skin, in your heart, in your mind's eye? Remember, Questions have the most power in the space between the asking and the answer. So thank you for listening or watching or reading or however you got this. I think I might have left a couple of things out. So, okay, te pai. It's, yeah, I think the only thing I left out, I just skimmed over a paragraph, is that sensation of being in a deep trance with my eyes closed because I'm really focusing, or with my eyes open because I'm looking at people. I keep the tune, I guess this is for the musicians, I keep the tune running very, very consciously. It feels like it's in the very back of my skull, against the back of my skull. And if I can hear with my inner ear, if I can hear that tune on the back of my skull, I just have to send like an impulse down to my hands, and my hands will find where the tune lives on the strings. So that's how I actually keep the playing of music going while I'm doing all this smiling at people and connecting. And yeah, the music definitely has to be second nature in order for me to do that. That's why I practice. So yeah, kia ora koutou. Ngā mihi aroha ki a koutou katoa.